Hello everyone, this is Tom West and I'm putting together this series of presentations to demonstrate how to use the video chat application called Zoom. Zoom is a video conferencing application or program that is a standalone program but also is embedded within our learning management system. Therefore, it's the program that you're likely to use if you're trying to communicate with other people via video chat in the class, maybe between you and your instructor, or potentially you'll be using this during your dissertation proposal meeting, defense, etc. So I've put together a couple presentations here to kind of go over how to use it. This first one that you're viewing now kind of goes over just how to sort of set up Zoom for the first time so that you're ready to get up and running. In subsequent videos, I want to show you how to use Zoom primarily to conduct one-on-one meetings or to join a pre-existing meeting. So again, if your professor or if your dissertation chair has set up a meeting room, I'll show you how to join that and so on. And then in the third presentation, I'll show you how to actually set up a video chat yourself or a video conference yourself as the host. Again, something that maybe you're going to do during your dissertation proposal or defense meeting, and then also show you how you may share your screen or show the presentation slides, etc., to the individuals that are attending your meeting. So anyway, hopefully these presentations are helpful and give you a better idea of some of the potential uses for a video conferencing program, not just for in this class and in this program, but maybe down the road in how to improve your communication with clients, etc. So anyway, let's get started. What I've done here is I'm doing a screen capture of my screen. Sorry, this is a different class. This is PRF 720, class that I teach for the master's program. And basically, what you should all do, if you haven't done it already, is set up your Zoom account, set up some configuration, and so on. And that's what I want to show you here and talk about some of the different options that are available. So Zoom can be found by going to the Communications tab and clicking the down arrow, and then you can use the Zoom login tab. So anyway, when you first go to Zoom, you'll see this screen. There are three choices for video conferencing. There's join a conference or connect to a meeting that you've been invited to potentially. That's being hosted by someone else. So if I create a meeting for class and I tell everybody to join, I'll send you a link for the video conference, or I may add you to it and you can access this video conference by clicking join. Host, you'll push if you're going to start a meeting. Once you push host, we're going to go over how to do this, but then you can set some parameters about how the meeting can occur and what your participants will be able to do or not do, etc. And then finally, the third button, and this is the one I'd ask you to click now, is click the sign in button to configure your account. Now, when you click the sign in button, you'll need a username and password, and it says here at the bottom, in case you forget, that it's your CalU username and your password is your CalU password. So it's the same username and password you use to get into D2L, but it's your CalU username without the @calu.edu. So you click sign in, and I've already signed in, so it takes me right to, again, kind of the main setup page. First thing I would encourage everybody to do is to go to your profile. And I think it's always good to, again, add a picture so we know who we're talking to. Again, a professional picture would be good. And other than that, there's not much else to do on this page. If you go to the meeting settings page, you're going to see, if you scroll down, there are hundreds, not that many maybe, but there are lots of different options that you can set. I've left them all as the default settings, and I would probably think that you will as well, but I do want to point out a couple because they are interesting and give you some ideas of how you could potentially use this program. Maybe not for your, again, dissertation defense and so on, but I'm thinking of it from our class. If I'm going to schedule a Zoom meeting with a class, I may want to enable some of these features. So I wanted to go over not necessarily all of them, but some of them. And again, nice thing with Zoom is they tend to give you a little description of what each of these buttons do. So again, what we're going to do is look at some of the features that are in how to schedule a meeting, how to some of the options that are available in meeting, some of the advanced options that are available in meeting, talking about email notifications and some of the other settings. But whenever you do go to schedule a meeting, so if you decide to host a meeting, these are the defaults of how it will be set up. So if you host it, it will automatically turn on your camera unless you tell it otherwise, but you can always turn it off at a later time. Same thing for the participants. When they first log in, it's going to default to showing their camera and the video of themselves. But again, they can still turn that off if they want to. This is an important button. The default is allowing people to either call in and use their telephone for audio or to use their computer for audio. Sometimes people have trouble connecting or they don't have a good mic. You may want to allow them to use their telephone and their computer, or sometimes you may want to limit everybody to just their phone or just their computer. But again, the default is to allow that option of either. And again, if someone's calling in, they don't have their laptop with them or they don't have a good internet connection, calling in and participating via telephone may be the best option. So I generally will always leave that option on. Some of the other features that may be useful for you, I'm not going to go over all of them, but you can take a look, are the chat abilities. If you want to allow people to actually chat to you, so type a message, not necessarily respond through their audio, then you would want this enabled. That is the default on this program. But again, if you have a whole bunch of people and you don't want them to necessarily all be talking at the same time, the chat's a nice feature to have enabled. You at times may want them to actually speak, and you could disable the chat if you would like to do so. But again, in most cases, you're going to leave that on. The private chat allows two participants to chat privately to one another. When I'm the teacher and I have a bunch of students in my video chat, I always worry that they're going to be making fun of me behind my back. So if you're concerned about that, you can certainly turn it off. But again, it allows participants to send a chat to one another, which in a lot of cases may be useful. So if they don't understand something I say, they can ask one another and say, hey, did you understand what he meant there? Or they can make fun of me if they want, but I really don't care. But you can disable that if you don't want them to be able to communicate back and forth to one another in the actual program. The other features that I think are somewhat helpful here is, again, you can make it so that it plays a sound when people join or leave. This is something that you may want to disable. If you're just having a meeting with a handful of people, I would leave it on. That way you know if somebody joins or if somebody gets disconnected. But if you're doing a presentation to a class and you may have 20, 30 people joining, you may want to turn off the beeping because that can be really distracting to everybody if people are chiming in late or leaving early and so on. So you can make it so that only you hear it, or you can make it so that, again, everybody hears it whenever somebody joins or leaves. Other features, file transfer. If we're talking in a video chat and someone says, hey, can you send me that PDF? Having this enabled allows them to send you a document. So again, something you may want to leave enabled. But again, if you're worried that students or participants may send each other files that you don't want them to, again, be able to share with the entire class, then you can disable that. I typically disable that if I'm doing a class-wide chat, unless I'm expecting to distribute some type of a document to them. Some other features that I think are kind of neat. Polling is a neat one. Polling allows you to survey the attendees during the actual meeting. So if you want to give them a quick quiz question or see if they're paying attention or see if they're still there, you can add a quick polling question. Allows you to survey the attendees. Kind of a neat thing to maybe keep people engaged, or again, just see if that you're maintaining their attention. But then there are other features here that are helpful as well that I'm not going to go over, but you can take a look at them. But anyway, I think it is important that you set this up ahead of time, be aware of some of the different features that are involved, and we will talk about using a video chat in a future module within DHS 845 when we get to that point. But I did want to get this presentation out early in case you're starting to set up meetings with your dissertation committee. So anyway, take a look at the Zoom app and specifically at the settings and get yourself all set up so that if you do need to participate in a meeting, you're ready to go.